So hopefully you guys can hear me and all that. I know a lot of times YouTube doesn't start the live until a couple minutes after I actually start it. So with that said, I will give it just a few minutes. I see that Jim, our ANS, is in here. Stronger with you, absolutely. Have a great live, dude. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I'm gonna adjust the camera just a bit. There we go. It's a little bit better. It's not starting on my stream yet. Hold on one second. There we go. What's going on, Jim? Scent of the day is ombre leather. Great choice. I just did a review on a clone of ombre leather. I don't have it with me right now, but Amber and Leather by uh, Mason Alhambra is really good. Sorry, my wife just called me. I need to silence this. Hold on. Ombre leather. All right, there we go. So, yeah, I threw some laundry in, and my wife and daughter went out with my brother-in-law to dinner. So I decided that I would go live for a bit and talk about a few fragrances that I just got in. Hope that you guys had a fantastic holiday and didn't get too smashed on Black Friday because, and by smashed I mean like in traffic and shit, not actually drunk. But hey, if you got the other one, then great for you. Today I am wearing Prada Luna Rosa Black. Somebody was actually just asking me on Instagram, when is the best time to wear Prada Black? So Prada Black is a night out fragrance for sure. With that said, it's a night out fragrance for mostly transitional seasons. You can wear it all day long during the cool weather, which is why I'm wearing it today. It's like 40 degrees outside right now, so it's a really chilly day outside. And Prada Black is really good for that. It just basically take that Luna Rosa DNA, dial it down, and add in this really nice designer amber and musk. And it has some spices in the background, but it's an amber musky version of the DNA, more of a night out version. Very sexy that I didn't like right away. But it took me probably 6 or 8 months of trying it out to finally enjoy the fragrance. And now I really enjoy it as a night out, and my wife really likes it, so that's a plus. What's going on, all genre bops? Jim Little, it's my wife's favorite of mine. There you go. Ombre leather is a great scent. You can't go wrong with it. I know that I was seeing somebody did a video the other day. It was a short on TikTok, and they said, is a fragrance that makes you go, ooh, like it's nasty? And a lot of people were saying 1 million lucky in ombre leather. I was like, I understand the ombre leather because people either really like that fragrance or they think it smells like a leather couch. But the 1 million lucky confused me. That's one of the easiest wear fragrances. The only people would say that is if they don't like sweet fragrances. But it was surprisingly a lot of people said it. Anyway, welcome. Hope that you guys had a great Thanksgiving. Let me know what your scent of the day is. Thank you, Kellen. Kellen put scent of the day Spice Bomb Extreme. Just got my sample in. I like. I like the sample. I like. My mom said it smelled like my grandpa. Okay, I was reading it wrong. See, Spice Bomb Extreme and Armani Code Absolute do something similar, but in a different way. So if you have powdery vanillas, there are three fragrance notes that I am not a fan of. One is rose. It has to be something really special to be a fragrance a rose fragrance that I really like. Like there's two of them that I can think off the top of my head: Zaharoff Rosé and MFK L'Homme à la Rose. Both of those I can stomach. I still wouldn't wear them though. The second one is white florals. 90 if it's a heavy white floral fragrance, which I'm pretty sure one of these I'm about to smell is a heavy white floral fragrance. There has to be something mixed in there. For instance, I'll give you one that is really good for me, and that is L'Homme Ideal Cologne or L'Homme Ideal Platine Privé. They have that neroli in there, but it's mixed together very beautifully with a nice lemon note. So the citrus really mixes well together, and it doesn't come off too feminine. White florals always smell perfumey to me, and so I don't like wearing them. And the third one is powdery vanilla. Powdery vanilla, again, it has to be something super special. I don't hate Armani Code Absolute. I don't hate Spice Bomb Extreme. And I don't hate Nishane's Ani. I don't hate all three of them. I just choose not to wear them. And it's also going to be the same for me with the one that everybody talks about, which is that, why can't think of the freaking. I don't know why I can't think of the name. Oud Vanilla? No, it's not Oud Vanilla. Vanilla Oud? Yeah. Why can't I think of the name though? So it's something Vanilla Oud. You guys know what I'm talking about. I don't know why the hell I can't think of the name right now, but a lot of people are talking about how much it's like in their top 5 fragrances and stuff like that. I don't like powder. Yeah, Virtue's Vanilla. It smells very nice. And okay, hold on. He's saying the video is blurry and the sound's off. Let me double check and see what it is on my end. And of course, there we go. We're talking about how much it's like in their top 5 fragrances. For me, it's fine. Let me know in the chat if it's bad for you, your connection. Is anybody else having issues with the connection or with the blurriness of the video? I'm not exactly sure. On my end, it looks like it's fine, but it could just be, I don't know. But yeah, Virtue's Vanilla Oud. I think it smells like a good fragrance for sure. It's just the powdery vanilla part of it. I don't know. For me, it looks like this. It looks like perfectly fine. Yeah, it might just be YouTube. Not exactly sure. Anyway, Virtue's Vanilla Oud. I don't hate the fragrance. I will never buy a full bottle. It's just, yeah. Anyway, so with that said, I will let you know Spice Bomb Extreme. I actually wore it last night. Decided to spray it on. And again, I still like it. It's nothing that wows me. And that's usually how powdery vanilla scents are for me. They smell good, but I can see where you're saying it smells like an old grandma or grandpap. It's the vanilla. Powdery vanillas come off like that a lot of times to a lot of people, including myself. Like I know that Nishani's Honey, people either love that or they say it smells like your old grandma's cookies. But today we're going to be talking about 4 fragrances that were sent to me by Ryan. So thank you very much, Ryan, for sending these to me. He also sent me one more, but I don't want to talk about it yet because the company is possibly sending me it. So I'm not 100% sure. And if they don't and they send me something different, then I'll obviously review it. But the first one I'm going to review is Amouage Reflection Man. The second one is Acqua di Parma's Oud. And then the last 2 are going to be back-to-back. I have tried the original one, but that was like a year ago. This is BDK Gris Charnel Extrait and Gris Charnel. So I'm going to spray on the Gris Charnel and then the Extrait after to let you know the differences of them. And those fragrances, I do know the original one. It is very... There's 2 different styles of fragrance. So when you first spray it on, it's very dark. And when it gets to the dry down, it's completely different. So yeah, I did a refresh and it's good now. Okay, Jim. Well, thank you very much for that. Bad, but then it stopped. Let me know if it does change and it gets bad again. I'll see if I can do anything. Probably can't. I'm only going to be live here for about a half hour. Again, I threw some laundry in and I have to clean out the closet. So I figured in the meantime, I would do a live stream. What's the difference between stay away from grandma's cookies? Yeah. I actually have a whole thing of my grandma's cookies over there. Well, not my grandma's, my wife's grandma. Anyway, what's the difference between niche and designer? Which is better? Kellen, I'm glad you asked that because I always forget that there's people that haven't been in the fragrance community all that long. So there's actually 4 tiers of fragrance brands, technically 5. So it starts out, you have your cheapies and your clones. The cheapies are usually just designer fragrances that are nicknamed cheapies because a lot of brands like Eternity, they have their cheap CK and then Eternity, which to me is still cheapy. But then there's clones, which are cloning usually niche houses, but now it's pretty much cloning anything. Then you have your real tiers. You have your designer tier. So your designer tier are going to be your mass appealing fragrances that are usually, later Mo, hey, I knew you could only be here for a little bit, so thank you for showing up. Appreciate it. So your designer fragrances are going to be your mass appealing fragrances that you find 90%, most of the people are going to think it's the stuff that you see, Ulta, Sephora. That's designer fragrances. They come out from designer brands that also do clothing lines, jewelry, stuff like that. They are not just a fragrance company. That is the actual definition of designer versus niche. And niche is going to be the type of companies that if they sell jewelry or something else and weren't just a fragrance brand, then they would be known as designer. But because they sell fragrances that are actually, and they are just a fragrance company, for instance, Parfums de Marly, something like that, they are going to be known as niche. There are exceptions, like Tom Ford has their designer line because Tom Ford's a designer, but then they have their private blend, which a lot of people consider to be niche. That's where the kind of confusion comes in, because niche can also be fragrances labeled as kind of like the higher quality, even though a lot of niche fragrances actually aren't higher quality. Like, you can find very syrupy, very synthetic niche fragrances. Then you have like your introductory niche, which is PDM, where you can find a lot of fragrances that are designer-esque. But anyway, the strict definition of it is designer is any company that sells fragrances and other things, and niche fragrances are the houses that don't sell other things. But again, that's where it gets construed, because you can have niche fragrances from private lines. Like even Versace and Chanel and stuff, they have their private blends, which a lot of people consider niche. They're ones. And for the most part, I'd say about 75% of the time, niche fragrances are going to be the ones that use the high quality natural oils in the blend with the synthetics. Because no matter what you say, every fragrance has synthetic blends in it. Like amber is synthetic, and a lot of fragrances have amber. Musk, synthetic. Since like 1980, it's been synthetic. They are no longer allowed to use deer musk and animal musk and whatnot. They're not allowed to use that. So it's just a blend of that. And usually in designers, it is, unless you have like a high-end designer like Chanel, Dior, or one of like the very unique designers like Van Cleef and Arpels, you're going to be looking at fragrances that are very low quality as far as the oils are concerned, synthetics with maybe a slight touch of natural oils. And then you have indie houses. Indie houses are going to be basically niche houses that are just starting up, like Argos, Imaginary Authors, that aren't as big as those other companies. So again, it's construed. They can technically be niche as well, but yeah. Stay away from my grandma's cookie reindeer. Oh, Mo. I'll text him after. That's funny. What's going on, Mike? Everybody go over and follow Mike from I Smell. What's going on, man? Haven't seen you in here in a while. But I honestly haven't been live that many times. It's very hard to catch my lives because I usually do them on Sundays or Mondays, and I never know when I'm going to do them. Anyway, Kellen, to the max designer is usually more mass appealing, but not, yeah, if you just want to look at it that way and not talk about what they sell, designers are going to be mass appealing, and niche fragrances are going to be semi-higher quality for the most part, that usually have this personal enjoyment aspect to them, even though there are what you would call introductory niche. Like every line has a few introductory niche fragrances in it. PDM has more than normal. Initio, Mancera, Montal, even Creed has a few, but for the most part, yeah. Anyway, what's going on, all genre bops? I think I saw you in here before anyway. I just didn't say your name because I was in the middle of talking to myself, but pursuing Black Friday deals, trying to figure out what to buy. Okay, well, before I get into the fragrances, I'll spray one of these on a tester because I already know what it smells like. I'm going to let it get into the dry down. It is BDK Gris Charnel, not the X-Straight, because I have already tried the original. With that said, Black Friday deals. So this Black Friday actually was pretty shitty. The only company that had really good deals is Venba Fragrance. If you look on my community tab, I posted them. About half the links I do not have an affiliate with, and the other half I am affiliated with, but it's not like I talk to anybody. It's just I have links for them. But anyway, so there was Roja Apex, which is sold out now, which was like $300 off the actual retail price. But there's a lot of good fragrances on that sale. I have two different posts. If you want to check out the whole Venba sale, just click on the link that I put in both the posts. He has a lot of niche fragrances, if that's what you're looking for. If you're looking for Bleu de Chanel Eau de Parfum, he has a 1.7 ounce for $89, which is like $20 off retail. Right now, Bloomingdale's online is doing a Chanel sale as well, 15% off of any Chanel. If you are looking for that, that's hardly ever happens. So I just found that out thanks to Newt. So thank you, Newt. Fragrance by Elysium O Intense for $143, but honestly, I wouldn't even recommend buying that because it's honestly, the original is better. I mean, if they're discounting a brand new fragrance to $143, which is $350 off retail, I there's a reason for that, and the reason is because it's not selling well. They had a few other good deals, but for the most part, it's like Gentleman Boisé was $68, but I've seen it better for the 1.7 ounce for that. But Venba, the way that the owner of Venba, Kushik, he was not getting a lot of people going to his site. So he was trying to think, what's the best way I can do this to make more people, their eyes come to my site? And so instead of doing like 15% off this, he decided to discount directly. And so now if you go to his site, he has prices lower for a lot of fragrances than Aura fragrance. Like right now you can get, for $199, you can get Grand Soir, one of the best amber fragrances out there. I just bought 3 fragrances last night. I bought the brand new Imaginary Authors. It was just released yesterday or today. And it's called Blend Number 83. And it has this, it's almost like an espresso martini from what it's supposed to be. And I love Imaginary Authors, so I bought that. If you do want to buy it though, my Capital One credit card found a deal for me, 10% off. I used the code LOVESTORY, and you get it for $95 instead of $105. So that's not really a Black Friday deal. It's just I accidentally found that. I also bought Korean Island Water because that's $170 for the 1.7 ounce, and so I wanted to buy that. And then I bought Nishane Wulong Cha because it's $86 on Joma Shop. But they also have Boss Bottled Pacific for $56. And then if you look on FragranceNet, so the Venba sale goes until Monday. FragranceNet, they have 2.5 ounce for $119, 2.5 ounce Leighton for $135, and 2.5 ounce Percival for $121. Those are lowest sales I've seen for those fragrances. Outside of Pegasus, I've seen one time before. It was like 101. But I haven't seen that in a long time. And then they also have, if you're interested in any Goldfield and Banks, Pacific Rock Moss and Genius Gin is a brand new release this year. It's like a ginger ale poured over a lemon pound cake, and Bohemian Lime. They are running between $181 and $184 for the small, and $119 to $121 for the big. And they run around $160 for Ingenious Ginger. So those are great sales as well. They also have some Initios and Herod and Pegasus exclusive, Leighton exclusive are both on Venba as well. So yeah, those are the sales that I've seen so far. But the worst one that I thought it was going to be a lot better was Fragrance Buy, but it wasn't. It was honestly pretty bad, to be honest with you. Yeah. Gotta go, dude. Hey, Jim, have a great day. Thank you for joining me. Oh, that's for somebody else. All right, so the original Gris Charnel. So this is an iris-based fragrance, but what's very interesting is it's a little bit darker than what you would expect. I don't know where the darkness is coming from because I've never actually looked at the notes, but it's like a tea iris fragrance that has a very dark and heavy background. But as you get to the dry down, which is kind of where it gets very quickly, they are 2 different style of fragrances. The opening is a bit darker. As you get to the dry down, in this one, it becomes more of an iris sandalwood fragrance that has a little bit of this kind of powdery tonka bean underneath it. But it has a sweetness, a little bit of depth and darkness. Gris Charnel, if you can find it for the right price, which this is actually on the Venba sale, now that I think about it, man. But it starts out, if you like iris, it's definitely an iris-forward fragrance with a dark and heavy, almost amber richness in the opening. You have this tea. It's like almost black tea leaf that goes through the whole fragrance. And then you also, as you get to the dry down, that darkness kind of dissipates as you get this semi-creamy sandalwood and powdery tonka coming in, providing a little bit of a sweet and warmth and a little bit of woodiness to it, mixed together again with that iris and tea, which makes the whole prominent part of the fragrance. But it is a darker version and niche quality version of the iris style of DNA, but it doesn't have the makeup-y iris that you would get from something like Dior Homme Intense and PARMA. So if there was any fragrance that this would remind me of, it's almost like a darker version of Prada L'Homme Intense if you mix it together with tea. That's really what that reminds me of. And as it gets to the dry down, it gets a little bit sweeter. So it's actually quite nice. It has a little bit of an oriental spice to it as well. But with that said, what's going on, Detroit Sports? How you doing, buddy? Frag buy prices are getting worse. Yes, they are. And you know what's crazy? So if you guys don't know, behind the scenes, there's something called affiliate links. Even you guys can have affiliate links. Every site basically has them. Amazon, Macy's, Ralph Lauren, YSL, Joma Shop, FragranceNet. All you do is you go and you find out where they use their affiliate through, whether affiliate Rakuten advertising, and you just go on and you click apply, and it automatically gives you a percentage of what you get in return. And so every site's like that. And so Fragrance Buy usually has good deals, at least up until this Black Friday. And so I reached out to them and I was like, where's your affiliate links? And they were like, well, we're not interested in right now. And you don't know. But I'm trying to advertise for you guys. Like, I'm just posting links to have people come to your site. And I don't get it. I'm not trying to do a collaboration. You don't need to send me bottles or anything. And they were like, yeah, we're not interested. And I'm like, all right, you guys have a great day. I'm still going to post your links because I'm trying to get my subscribers the best deal. If you don't want me advertising for you guys, that's totally fine with me. But it was just very confusing. It's like affiliate links are me advertising for you. But again, I guess they think like that they're doing something for us. They're really not, because the percentages are very low. Maybe for higher channels, the percentages are really high, but I mean, it's like 5 to 7% usually. With that said, we're going to spray on, I'm going to get into this one. Before I get into the Gris Charnel Extrait, I want to try our Moage Reflection Man because I already know I'm not going to like it. I'm pretty sure I've looked at the notes before, and this was a heavy white floral. With that said, before I smell this, yep, it is. Before I get into this, I just want to let you guys know there are 2 new fragrances on the horizon. 3 new fragrances on the horizon. Yeah, maybe they think I'm a douchebag. I mean, hey, it is what it is. I mean, if they think I'm a douchebag, then, I mean, hey. There's 3 new fragrances. One fragrance hasn't yet to be formally announced yet. And that fragrance is Stronger With You Tobacco. Very, very, very interested in that. Even though it could be bad. Not bad smelling, but Stronger With You, that line, is known for being very linear. They have the same DNA running like 75% through almost every fragrance. The one that kind of changed it up was Absolutely, which is why everybody likes it. Leather is good. Oud is better, but it still smells like a dark woodiness mixed together with Stronger With You intensely. So I hope that they focus more on the tobacco in this. This could be a very good note collaboration of that line and tobacco being heavy in the fragrance. I just hope that the tobacco doesn't fall by the wayside like Stronger With You Oud. The oud is very prominent for 5 minutes, and then it goes away. So yeah, Journeyman. It kind of smells like if you were to mix a powdery grape soda with jasmine and neroli. And that's what it is. It's like a powdery grape soda with jasmine and neroli. Jasmine is Moage Diamant kind of has that same vibe. The way that the florals come across, it has this sparkling feeling to it to almost make it a little bit fruity and effervescent, to give it almost like a sparkling soda. Yeah, Stronger With You leather is nice, but it's nice because it's leather on top of the Stronger With You DNA, and that's it. Like, I wish that they would switch up that DNA a bit. Like, I understand it's the DNA of the line, but if you look through the whole line, they've kind of stuck with that same DNA like to a T. Whether it's like the Intensely DNA or the Originals DNA, and they just put it together with the note of leather without really doing much else to it. Same with Stronger With You Oud. I like the fragrances. It's very like simplistic and doesn't make me want to go, ooh, I need another bottle, because it just kind of smells like what I already have with the note of leather. But yeah, I do agree they're nice. It's just I hope that they do something really interesting with the tobacco. Anyway, the other one is the new Hugo Intense, or Hugo something. I just posted it. It's a red bottle. It says Hugo. The last Hugo Jeans was the best Hugo fragrance that they've released from that line. Very, very, very nice. I mean, if you haven't tried Hugo Jeans, it's like $30 like right now. It's a blind worthy scent. It's very nice. The new one looks really nice as well. Oh shit. I just got a brand new fragrance last night, and I actually have it. So I also bought Xerjoff Naxos, but I haven't got any of those fragrances Virgin Island Water in yet because I just ordered them on Black Friday. I got Michael Jordan Legend for well, it was supposed to be $8 for the 50 mil, but I accidentally grabbed the 100 mil for $12, which I'm kind of happy I did. It's supposed to be very similar to like a designer version of Bond Number 9's New Harlem. And I tried it last night. And while it's almost like New Harlem meets Coffee Break, it's not even what I would expect from a Michael Jordan fragrance. Like, it doesn't smell alcohol-y or cheap. It smells like a $50, $60, $70 version. It's like if Lattafa cloned New Harlem. It's actually really nice. This is getting better, though. I mean, this is very wearable. It's a very clean, fresh, gentlemanly scent. We're talking about Amouage Reflection Man. Virgin Island Water I really like. What I like about it is that it lasts longer than the thing that smells like it, which is Tommy Bahama Set Sail St. Bart's, and it's a higher quality version of it, and it gets me about 4 to 5 hours, which is really all I need. But anyway, and then the third one is Lattafa. It's the Lattafa Hamra something. It begins with a Q, and I don't know how to say it. I just posted it on my community tab. And it's not Lattafa Hamra Coffee, or Kamra Coffee, which is supposedly coming out at the beginning of next year. But Lattafa Kamra Q, whatever it's called, the notes look really interesting for it. And so if you want to look it up, it's on iFragrance. And it is coming back. It's being restocked on Fragrance Buy on Monday. So if you're looking for a Kamra, it's going to be on Fragrance Buy on Monday. Make sure that you put a notification. No, here, I'll look it up for you guys while I'm here. I have my iPad, so might as well. All right. Just give me a second, because my daughter's iPad is slow because she has like 5,000 things pulled up on it. So, oh, the iPad's probably different. There it is. There we go. All right, it's called Lattafa Kamra Kawa, Qahwa. And here are the notes for it. It's unisex, obviously. The notes are, you can't see that on there, can you? Yeah, ginger, I'm going to read it backwards. Ginger, cinnamon, cardamom, praline, I can't do that. Candied fruits, white flour, coffee, tonka bean, musk, benzo, and vanilla. So maybe this is the coffee. Maybe the several reviews already on YouTube. Okay. Yeah, so it's called Kawa. So I think that, let me see, Qahwa. Qahwa meaning. It means coffee. So this is Lattafa Kamra coffee. So I didn't really even think about that, but that means coffee in Arabic. So Lattafa Kamra coffee is actually coming out. So I'm ordering that on Monday. And if you guys want to order Kamra coffee, it will be on there. Obviously, I will. I was the first one on YouTube to review the original Kamra, crazily enough, because my moderator, Hamzat, got it from the UAE, or he got it from somewhere, and I was able to review it before it even was released. This one, unfortunately, I couldn't get to that quickly because I didn't even know it existed. But that's because I've been so busy I didn't look on iFragrance. With that said, so yes, this is a white floral version of the Amouage DNA. It's very white floral. The opening had this grape soda effervescent sparkly feeling that's kind of going away. And you have this almost like neroli petitgrain mixture. It has a little bit of a green tone, but it's mostly florals with a slight bit of sweetness and powder underneath. I would never buy that. I might wear it. It's more of like a work scent, or if you're dressing up in a suit and tie, that'd be a good fragrance if you like florals. But it's definitely a good floral fragrance. It has a vintagey vibe to it, though, almost like a barbershop style. But yeah, made you laugh. I know I'm gonna like it spray anyway. Strung with you leather is. Oh, I'm way behind. Not really. Love Virgin Island water. Wish it lasted longer. $150 without taxes. No way. AGB. What is he talking about? Strung with you absolutely. Strung with you absolutely was $101 yesterday. It was. I don't know where it was. I thought it was on Fragrance Buy, but Fragrance Net. Strung with you absolutely was $101 on something. If you guys are interested, I'll post it after. But yeah, it was $101 yesterday. I saw it. I forgot to post it. But Stronger with You Amber is $91. If you guys are, I know we were just talking about Oud and Leather. Well, the follow-up to those two was Stronger with You Amber, came out earlier this year, and that is $91. But yeah. Yeah, that's why I didn't post it, Kyler. It was $101 on Fragrance Buy. But yeah, $91 for Strung With You Amber. It was $150 the last I checked, so I think that that's a really good deal if you're interested in that. I told Joel Matrix about Frag Bar. Interesting. Yeah, I'm just going to get it from Fragrance Buy because I have free shipping on there, and it's only like $30 or something like that, so I'll buy it. Why not? So anyway, we're going to spray on Acqua di Parma Oud. I know nothing about this fragrance. So, like, I've never even heard of it until right now, so. This is really freaking good. It's not as woody as you would expect. Yo. This is very classy. As far as an oud scent goes, this is really nice. It doesn't have that fecal or heavy, dense, and dark woods that you're used to with something like Paco Rabanne's Golden Oud. I mean, I had it in front of me. Why not? This is like more, it almost has like a blend of almost like white florals and a little bit of like a semi-fruitiness almost. But it's coming up very luxurious. This is bomb, man. Yeah, this is great. What's up, Ross? How you doing, buddy? I actually didn't even know that you were in there until I saw somebody on there say, "Hey, Ross, what's going on, man?" I threw my laundry in because I'm old, and so I decided to go live for about a half hour. I had a few fragrances: Gris Charnel Extrait, Amouage Reflection Man, and the one that I'm smelling right now, which is Acqua di Parma Oud. And that's not it. Where is it? Oh, there it is. Yeah, this is bomb, man. I might buy this. I mean, I have a small decant, so this isn't even one of those oud fragrances that you can't wear. I mean, it's a very, very wearable fragrance. Let's see. Aqua. It's always spelled weird. ACQUA. Di Parma Oud. It's almost like a little bit of ginger or something in it. A cardamom, maybe? I don't know. Hold on. There we go. Parfumo. Woody citrus oud, leather aromatic powdery. That's the accords. Calabrian bergamot orange, oud, amorous coriander, leather, sandalwood. I knew there was sandalwood in it, but maybe it's the Calabrian bergamot and orange mixing together with that woodiness that is kind of coming off almost like a gingery to me. This is very nice. I mean, I don't even know what else to say about it because I'm not used to smelling something like this. It's like a really, really nice, if you're looking for something that is almost like an all-season oud, this is great. It's like a really nice twist on something that you would have with a dark and woody oud fragrance because it's not dark and woody. It's woody for sure, but the leather's starting to pop now, and that's what it is. It's like the leather is almost overtaking that oud to the point where it's very nicely blended with that Calabrian bergamot and the orange in it, that it's almost coming across just like a very nicely blended dark woody citrus fragrance, and it's very beautiful. And it says powdery, but I don't really get much powder. Maybe that comes in the dry down, but I like that a lot. Like a lot. I would give that an 8.5. That's really interesting. I mean, I just looked and I had two other decants sitting here. I don't know why. Roja Isola Blue. If you guys haven't tried that out, test it out. Paco Rabanne's 1 million golden oud. So good. I forgot that you guys were even here. I live streamed to see like see the chat. I got it yesterday. Nice. Ross getting ready for Survivor Series. I am. Yep. Chicago. I was watching their live stream, him and Dedrick. If you guys haven't, go check that out. Dedrick and Ross do a live stream about wrestling. If you're interested in the WWE or anything wrestling, they talked about the Survivor Series and they do it live. It's called like the Sports Desk, something Sports Desk. I follow it. I just never know the name. CM Punk is kind of, that's what I said. I said CM Punk is coming back, and Ross said that at first the last live stream he said that it was either Chicago or bust, but I think he said that they're gonna make it into something bigger, and he'll actually come back in the next biggest date. I think it's either Royal Rumble or WrestleMania. Oud smells too much like Band-Aid to me. Can't do it. See, I don't like oud much either. It's really good. 50-50 on Punk showing up tonight. Yep. I was just watching the Ohio State and Michigan game. Wrestling, but I was just watching that, and I didn't know how to feel because I'm a Penn State fan, and I went to Penn State, and then I transferred to Pitt because I was going into pharmacy, and they're more for pharmacy, but I don't know how I feel about watching. It's like I wanted both teams to lose. Like, I wish that would have happened somehow. But now I'm watching the Washington game. The Washington game is on right to my left. I want to see Washington go far. I'm 50-50 on Punk showing up. I missed the Attitude Era. Everybody misses the Attitude Era. That was the best era of wrestling. I mean, the undercards were even amazing back then. Even though The Rock and Stone Cold kind of carried it at that point in time, even prior to that, whenever they were like transitioning from Warrior and Hulk and them and going into kind of like Shawn Michaels, Bret Hart, the entrance of Stone Cold and stuff like that. I mean, they had a lot of really good undercards. Like, even back then, Undertaker was a little bit of an undercard, and then they threw in Kane, and they had Goldust and Yokozuna and all that kind of crazy crap. I mean, that was the life. I used to love that. I would sit there and I would get up. I dressed as the Ultimate Warrior one time, even though he's like the worst wrestler of all time. I had like a big body costume of him. I love how Neep sprays oud heavy fragrances, and then he smells like buttholes. Definitely a scent stride to smell like, whatever. My wife is a Penn State fan, so Michigan Penn State week is always fun. Yeah, it's always fun to watch them lose. Ever since like the early 2000s when Penn State legit was like the old Alabama and they won every year, and then it kind of was like a Penn State versus Miami all the time, it kind of is Penn State loses to all the good teams. Ever since James Franklin came in, Penn State loses to everybody. Anyway, so let's get into the last one. Since we already smelled the original Gris Charnel by BDK, let's smell the Extrait. It is very similar. This has vanilla in it, though. You can smell it right off the top. I like the X-Straight better. Right off the top, so the original BDK Gris Charnel, again, it starts out, it's a lot darker, and it has that iris and tea right up front. The iris and tea is still in here, but in place of that really dense darkness that you get from the Gris Charnel original, this one, it kind of simmers down that darkness with a little bit of this vanilla that's popping in to give it a little bit of a creamy sweetness. And if there's one thing that I like with iris fragrances, it's vanilla. I've always liked creamy vanilla with iris. I'm not sure why. It's kind of like it always tones it down. I either like that with iris or I like sandalwood with iris, because sandalwood and iris really go good together, as does leather and iris, like in Prada L'Homme Intense. But yeah, I love rose oud fragrances. So you probably like the Louis Vuitton, huh? See, I don't like rose. Both the only rose fragrances that I can stomach are MFK, L'Homme a la Rose, and Zaharoff Rosé. Those are the only two that are wearable for me. Mostly because my wife is allergic to like 6 different types of rose oils, and I just don't like smelling like florals. I just never have. I don't like white florals except for in specific fragrances that mix it really well with citrus. But for the most part, yeah. Gris Charnel X-Straight is pretty good. No, Toy Boy. No, Toy Boy. Say that 5 times fast. I used to be able to. It took me a while. We had a contest who could say Toy Boat 5 times fast. It was Toy Boat, Toy Boat, Toy Boat, Toy Boat, Toy Boat. Or is it Toy Boy, Toy Boy, Toy... Yeah, Toy Boy. Toy Boy, Toy Boy, Toy Boy, Toy Boy. It was always hard, but now I can actually do it. My nose is not advanced enough yet, Paul. I'll try. Maybe one day I'll figure out the fecal oud thing. Yeah, I honestly, when it comes to oud, I'm not a huge fan. I've never really liked. I'll be honest with you guys. That's why I became a designer fragrance channel, is because I like mass appealing fragrances. And yes, there's situational fragrances out there, but when I wear fragrances, it's mostly because I'm trying to get my wife to smell something on me, or I'm trying to smell good myself. And personal enjoyment sense, there's a few out there that you can smell good, but if you go outside the house, it's like people aren't going to think you smell good because their personal enjoyment sense for somebody who has an advanced nose. And so I usually just don't like those scents. And if I get a decant, I might enjoy the scent for about a minute, but then I'm just like, you know what? I'd never buy that. And that's kind of how I feel about, like I said that to my moderators about 1 million golden oud. Like, I like the fragrance, but this decant will last me until next fall. And then maybe I'll get a bottle if it's at like $70. But I mean, when am I going to wear a darker woodiness that has that oriental spiciness to it in public? I'm not. I'm personally not. I mean, you guys might, but I'm not going to. Yeah, that's my thought on it. It's just whenever it comes to those type of fragrances like oud and stuff like that, I can't wear that in public. All right, Mike, thank you very much for stopping in, heading out to grab some dinner with the wife. Have a good rest of your stream, bro. Thank you. It's only going to be going on for like 5 more minutes, so I actually went 15 more minutes than I thought I was going to go. But anyway, so as far as Amouage Reflection Man, if you like florally fragrances, you probably like this. Again, to me, it smells kind of like if you mix together a grape soda with jasmine neroli and some kind of like green something. It has a powdery nuance to it. It kind of smells like Amouage Diamant to me, to be honest. But the winner of this video, there's 2 of them. The 2 winners from this video are these 2, this live stream. BDK Gris Charnel X-Straight. That one is a iris fragrance mixed together with vanilla. Has a nice creamy backbone to it. Has that little bit of darkness, but not as dark as the original. And the iris isn't as prominent, but you still do get that iris tea mixture. And then, as I'm just smelling it right now, you can still get that sandalwood and tonka that provide a little bit of that sweetness and warmth and woodiness as you get to the dry down. It's not fully there yet, but and the vanilla is coming through a little bit more, so you get that creamy. My wife just called me. I hope it didn't crash the stream. Anyway, well, Yeah. So if you guys are interested in any of those fragrances, again, a lot of them are on Venba Fragrance until Monday. Gris Charnel is on there. I know Reflection Man is on there. The Extrait is on there. Acqua di Parma Oud, I don't know where you would find that, honestly. Reflection Man smells like corn tortillas in the opening. Really? I don't get the corn tortilla thing. I get a lot of like a floral that mixed together with almost like this grape soda. That's kind of what I get from it. But a lot of times when things come across as grape sodas, somebody, they just, it's something that they don't like. Usually I've seen like when people call Most Wanted or Stronger With You grape soda, it's because of that. But anyway, yeah. Jasmine and neroli sounds like enough. Yeah, that's how I feel about it, Sniff Snob. I'm not a big fan of white florals. Jasmine, neroli, the only time I can do it is whenever it's mixed with citrus, like L'Homme Ideal Cologne, L'Homme Ideal Platine Privé. I can do it whenever the jasmine and neroli are mixed together well with that. There's a few of the fresh Jean Paul Gaultiers that are mixed together with the tonka, that and mint and lavender that do it really nice, and that white floral doesn't shine. But if the white floral shines, it's usually not for Beeve, which is me. If you guys didn't know, my last name is Beaver. So everybody my whole life always called me Beeve. I never actually said that until now. It's weird. Anyway, yeah, I figured I would go live for a little bit. So, yeah, I thank you guys so much for joining me. I'm going to get back to cleaning and doing laundry and all kinds of stuff. So I appreciate you guys. Oh, and L'Homme Ideal Platine Privé is kind of like the newer version of L'Homme Ideal Cologne if you added a bit of like a fruitiness in the opening. That's what it is. But yeah, thank you guys so much. I really appreciate you guys joining me. I'm going to try to go live again tomorrow night. If not, I will go live on Monday. So look out for the Survivor Series tonight, as Ross was just saying. So I'm going to go watch some football and do some cleaning. Thank you guys so much. I hope you guys have a great weekend. Peace out.